Hi, today I'm going to show you how to use Zoom and PowerPoint together. So I've had a lot of questions on Facebook about what do we do with my kindergarten class while I'm on Zoom. Well, to show you a few things, I do the calendar, I do pocket charts, I do a writing center, we read books, we do flashcards, we sing, pretty much everything that we do in a regular classroom, I do on Zoom. And then for a little extra fun, then we do PowerPoint. You should have Zoom already, and hopefully you've gone through all the tutorials to how to protect yourself. Number one is an automatic feature now, and that's to make sure that you have the waiting room on before anyone comes in, because then you can allow some in but not others. If there's some name on there that you don't know, like I had a case where just a number popped up, somebody wanted into the room even though I was pretty sure it was a parent who was struggling to get their iPhone connected. I didn't let them in. I talked to them after my class, and sure enough, it was them, but don't take a chance on that because that's when the things happen that you don't want to happen. So I'm going to get right into it. So PowerPoint overall is a great program, and it works pretty easily with Zoom. So all you're going to do is way down here at the bottom of your screen. Oh, let me introduce you up here at the top. You can see that's my screen right there. That's my frog cam for right now. Sometimes it's the baby chick cam. And that's my iPad over here, which is another one that I use all the time. I'm going to grab my iPhone and show you my setup. So let me click on my iPhone right now for you. I just hit spotlight that video, and then you'll see my setup. So I always have an iPad over here because the iPad shows me what's on my screen. So if I go back to me again and I hit spotlight video, now I'm back to this, but I can see exactly what the kids see when they're working. And that's really good because right now it looks like exactly the same, but as soon as I get into PowerPoint, it starts looking different. And unless you've really worked with Zoom a lot, you won't know what the kids are seeing. And I've talked for 5 minutes, and it's me, and I thought I was showing them the book, and I'm not showing them anything. And so just get your iPad, iPhone, tablet, Chromebook, whatever you have, and log into your meeting as a second person so you can see what they see. So I'm going to hit share the screen. I actually have 2 monitors, but today I'm only hooking up one because most of you only have one. It's nice to have 2 because then you can put some stuff on the other side. But since most people have one, there it is. So here's desktop 1. Here is a Finder, but we're not using the Finder. A whiteboard is nice. I haven't found a lot of uses for it for kindergarten. They tend to just scribble all over it. And 2 other things that I don't use. So here we go. I just click on desktop 1. I click on the button down here that says share. And now I have my desktop. You should keep your PowerPoint somewhere where they're easy to get to. So right now I already had my PowerPoint folder open, and right here you'll see I have April Language Arts ones. Here I have April Math, and I'll talk more about where those PowerPoints came from below. So I have a choice for April. I have April Color Word Sentences, April Consonant Blends, April CVC Silent E, and April Sight Words. So we're going to look at the April Consonant Blends right now. I just double click it, and because this is a PPSX, it's going to autoplay, which is a nice feature. So if you have them, it's a good idea to save them as a PowerPoint show, and then when you click on them, they will just automatically open up for you. And there it is. So it's consonant blends. There's a stapler, which is the sound. Over here on the side, I have all the screens that are connected right now. Since during my class, I would have more over here. And I'd have a scroll bar, a little arrow at the bottom here to slide up and down so I can see who is doing what. So what I would do now is I talk about that these are going to be the S blends, and do that, and then I'd say get out your whiteboard or a piece of paper and get ready because I want you to write down the first 2 letters of each one. And I would click it. Up would come the first one. It's a snake. And then I would say I need you to write it on your whiteboard. Obviously I can't do that right now because I don't have any students. And that's another thing I should talk about a little bit is unless you have a signed consent form, you can't take that screenshot of all your kids that you're seeing on Facebook and put it on there. They have a right to privacy, And at that point, you've broken it because they know a couple things. One, they know your name, they know what town they're in, and they have a picture of them. So they actually have 3 pieces of information, which isn't right. So unless you have signed consent forms from everybody in your class, I just wouldn't do it. I don't do it at all. I have a couple kids that I know the parents really well, and so every once in a while you'll see them on my Facebook, but otherwise you won't ever see them. So they're holding up their whiteboards right now, or a piece of paper or anything they have, and I look, and I might call on somebody and unmute them and say, Johnny, what does snake start with? He'll hold us up and say, snake, S-N. I'll click on it.
Great job.
Up it comes. And it says great job, and they're all happy. And it's more interesting than just listening to me or doing flashcards, but we do all of those too. And next we have a swing. So my students right now are all writing as fast as they can because they're just hoping that I'm going to pick on them. And then someone holds it up. It's little Sally. She says swing, SW. I click on it.
Great job.
Up it comes. And I'll do one more for you. So they're on a stage. They're writing it down now. They're going to hold it up in one of these windows. Obviously, the frogs aren't going to hold up a sign. And the one that's showing me a second time isn't going to hold up a sign either. When I do it in my classroom, I just leave this screen black so that I'm not on there twice. And it seems to work out better that way. So someone would have held it up, ST. I click it.
Great job.
And I can go through the whole thing and do a whole review on S-Blends. Works out great. I just press escape to get out of here. And I'm going to show you one math one. So again, I'm just in the share screen. I'll stop it for right now. There, I'm back again. If I want to share someone else's screen, I can spotlight it. I'm just going to spotlight the frogs again, but they're not around. And I'll spotlight back on mine. And now if I look at my iPad over here, I notice that I'm back in the full screen and everybody can see me. There's also this button up here that I like to use like when I'm singing or when I'm reading a story, because I hit gallery view and my screen now only has 3, but let's say the most I've had was 18 students at a time, so there's 18 up here at a time. And then I can unspotlight myself if I want to, but I leave myself spotlighted, but it allows me to see who's paying attention, who's not. And then you know about the mute all button. So you hit the chat here, and I don't have anyone logged into sound, so I can't mute them all. Your ones in your own room here, don't turn on the sound or you get an echo. So again, to go back to it, I'm going to share the screen. There it is, desktop 1. This time we're going to do math. You got to make sure you don't have it behind this bar here, but you could move this bar to the bottom, but I really like it on the top. So we're going to do one that we did this last week. Addition within 5. On this one, I tell them I don't want them using their fingers, and I want them to see who can get their whiteboard up fastest with the answer. So here it comes. And I just clicked an extra button there. And 2 plus 2 equals. Somebody holds it up fast, and I go, oh, I like that answer a lot. Or I might unmute them and ask them to read the equation, and they would say 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Woohoo! That's right!
And we'll do one more so you get the idea here. 0 plus 5 equals, and because adding within 5 is a standard for kindergarten that they're supposed to be able to do in their mind, hopefully they can write it down quickly. They hold up 5. I hit 5.
Woohoo! That's right!
Just a little more interesting way to do it than just the way you are. I'm going to go back to speaker view because that makes me big on my screen. But again, I always have my iPad right there so I can see it. So let me just tell you that those PowerPoints you saw are ones that Dee Dee and I made, and they're a monthly series. April just came out this week, and right now we have January, February, March, April all made. You can buy the whole year, you can buy just the month. And if you're wondering what to do in kindergarten, the kids love it, and it's just one more way to make it a little more interesting. If you have any questions, you can certainly pop them in the comments below this video. I'll try to answer them all that I can. And I don't know what my next video will be, but I'll try to think of something. Bye now.